Who would think Robin Gibb kept a stunning secret from his fans and the world for decades? A secret that made the puzzle complete. At 62, he confirmed what everyone suspected. Bee Gees singer Robin Gibb was noted for his superb vocals and intriguing aura. Under that facade, what was there? Jump in and find out. The Gibb brothers, three bright youngsters who loved music, harmony, and performing, founded the Bee Gees. Robin and his twin brother Morris were born in December 1949 and formed a band with their older brother Barry. Boys weren't music, obsessed till the 50s. They heard Elvis Presley, Tommy Steele, the Everly Brothers, and others on their elder sister Leslie's recordings. They pretended to play with box guitar. A few blocks away, the brothers made their first public appearance at the Gaumont in 1956. As all kids could pantomime songs, they brought their sisters' recordings. They practiced as the Rattlesnakes with neighboring youths Paul Frost and Kenny Ricks. The sound tech dropped and broke Leslie's record before they performed. How unlucky for the brothers. But the Gibb brothers weren't afraid of a challenge. Thank goodness Barry had a real guitar, so they performed while he strummed. They discovered that all the youngsters liked it. From then on, the brothers wanted to sing and be discovered. After Paul Frost and Kenny Horrocks left the Rattlesnakes in May 1958, the Gibb brothers were determined to continue. They reformed as Wee Johnny Hayes and the Blue Cats with Barry as Johnny Hayes. The family began a new adventure in August 1958. After leaving England, they moved to Australia. The family moved to Redcliffe, Queensland, northeast of Brisbane, with their older sister Leslie and younger brother Andy. The brothers attended Redcliffe Speedway in 1959 to pursue music. They performed between races. This caught racing driver Bill Good's eye. He contacted DJ Bill Gates, who praised the kids' innate harmonies. Gates recorded and broadcast their music. Gates suggested using Bee Gees, a shared beginning name among Barry Gibb, Bill Good, and himself. This became Bee Gees, meaning the Gibb brothers. Hugh, their father, managed them. Hugh made ends meet with his photography company before their popularity. He dedicated his management career to his boys. They had already made a name for themselves on Anything Goes and Brisbane Tonight. Robin and his siblings also performed in theaters, clubs, and pubs. As children, their dad taught them Mills Brothers music as their mom Barbara dressed them. Despite this, they failed. The brothers met American songwriter and producer Nat Kipner, who understood the music industry well. He was the new Adner manager at Spin Records, an indie company. The Bee Gees impressed Kipner with their talent. He managed them and helped them go from festivals to record labels, eager to help them succeed. The shift affected them greatly. Records offered the Bee Gees a new start while still distributing in Australia with festival recordings. Kipner introduced them to Ozzie Byrne, a skilled engineer who believed in the brothers. In Hurstville, Sydney, Byrne invited them inside his modest custom-built studio at St. Clair's Studios, where they began recording. Although the studio wasn't elegant, it allowed the Bee Gees to experiment and define their sound. From then on, they gained popularity. They peaked at 35 and had their first Australian hit, Spicks and Specks. They were moving steadily. February 1967 had a major event. Bee Gees auditioned for Robert Stigwood, an influential music industry executive who could detect talent. Stigwood was so thrilled with the audition that he contracted the Bee Gees for 5 years. Their songs would be released by Polydor Records in the UK and Atco Records in the US, ensuring international success. Soon, people started comparing them to the Beatles, which generated excitement and pressure as they entered this new phase of their careers with strong support. The Bee Gees were ready for stardom. They added Colin Peterson and Vince Maloney to expand their sound. Their next British single, New York Mining Disaster 1941, was popular. The song title and no labels were sent to radio stations, generating rumors that it was a new Beatles release. The track's mystery captivated listeners. New York Mining Tragedy 1941 inches immediately reached the top 20 in the UK and US. The Bee Gees were thrilled to receive such accolades. Their international success finally caught the attention of fans and critics. With this momentum, the Bee Gees continued their voyage of ups and downs, critical acclaim, and pressure. While working hard to establish themselves in the music industry, the band struggled internally and creatively. At the height of their popularity, they planned a 7-week U.S. tour in 1968. However, Robin Gibb fainted and was hospitalized before it began. He was diagnosed with stress-related nervous fatigue. This forced the Bee Gees to make critical lineup and future decisions. After Robin left, Morris resumed composing music, but without his voice it wasn't the same. They had creative disagreements as tensions rose. Robin wanted Lamplight to be the primary track on May 1, which sparked disagreements. Robin left the Bee Gees in 1969 to pursue a solo career, feeling sidelined. Barry and Morris attempted without him, but they could feel his absence. Their first show without Robin at London's Talk of the Town was painful and happy. Robin's absence was felt when recording Cucumber Castle. Robin's solo smash, Saved by the Bell, generated speculation about the Bee Gees' future. Barry and Maurice struggled to maintain the combo as Robin's solo career took off. They started examining separate initiatives but ran into problems. Once close, the brothers were now apart, leaving fans wondering if the Bee Gees would ever reconcile. By the mid-1970s, their strained relationship began to heal. Barry thought about everything while on vacation in Spain. Morris contacted Robin to apologize for their fight. That little gesture brought the Bee Gees back together to perform as a trio. Their reunion worked. Their eighth album, Trafalgar, released in 1971, includes the hit ballad How Can You Mend a Broken Heart? This music helped them return to the UK top 10 after personal and professional struggles. The Bee Gees' disco sound in the 1970s was a surprise, especially given Barry's falsetto. The Saturday Night Fever soundtrack solidified their place in music history, and songs like You Should Be Dancing were crucial. As the 70s ended and disco faded, the Bee Gees' songs still resonated. They became music icons, lasting beyond their time. The Bee Gees struggled when the disco movement faded in 1979. Many fans and reviewers lost interest in disco music after a swift backlash. Since they were so linked to disco, the Bee Gees struggled with this change, faced disco-averse radio stations and listeners. They also had legal issues when a musician accused them of stealing excerpts from How Deep Is Your Love. The court initially agreed with the accuser that the Bee Gees lacked expert evidence to support their defense. A few months later, the ruling was overturned, clearing them of all charges. Yes, even if it emotionally taxed them. Even during terrible circumstances, the Bee Gees maintained their passion of performing and their special connection with fans. One of their gigs commemorated their late brother Andy Gibb by singing Our Love. Don't throw it all away with him. The crowd was extremely moved by Andy's passion and the brothers' closeness in the touching tribute. This heartbreaking moment realized the Bee Gees' extraordinary charm with their fans. Barry, Robin, and Morris started One Night Only, a global tour with fan support. A huge success, the tour revitalized their careers and reunited them with their global fan base. The tour gave the Bee Gees new direction, and they kept performing, gaining fame. However, health difficulties began to plague the group. In 2002, the band's heart and humor, Maurice Gibb, had unforeseen health issues. Barry and Robin were horrified when he died after being hospitalized. Without Maurice, the Bee Gees had to break up. To honor Morris, the brothers retired the Bee Gees name, ending their illustrious musical career. Barry and Robin were devastated by his death, but their passion of music survived. Robin and Barry performed together for the first time since Maurice's death in 2006, not for a huge concert, but a Miami charity event they cared about. It was simple but powerful, demonstrating their tenacity and dedication to their family's music. Robin struggled with health in subsequent years. His liver cancer slowly deteriorated, but he fought privately. Despite problems and performance cancellations, he kept in touch with fans, dazzling everyone with his courage and passion. He divulged a secret to Robin's son, Robin John Gibb, in an interview. It appears all news outlets were mistaken. Not cancer killed Robin's father. He claimed remission, and the cancer was barely noticeable. Kidney failure killed his father. This may explain the discrepancy between the late singer's February cancer statement and his March health decline. Other patients may have concerned that Gibb's health may change so fast, as could theirs. Robin Gibb told the BBC in early February that he had a colon tumor removed and felt wonderful. He said after that it was simply mopping up and he was active and feeling well. His fans were confused when he went from that hopeful feeling to a coma in April and death in May. Was he lying about his cancer, or did it seem reversible before it killed him? According to Robin John, neither was true. His kidney failure was separate. However, Robin's body was stressed by cancer and its difficult treatment making it worse. The Daily Express reported that Robin John was frustrated by doctors' differing ideas on how to care for his father in his final weeks. He complained about healthcare decisions. The Sun told the tabloid that his dad was fine until he had a seizure 3 days before he died. Robin John said his liver couldn't withstand sedatives to manage chemotherapy side effects. It progressed swiftly and his kidneys were affected. Kidney and liver failure killed his father. While he was comatose, Dweena Gibb was fighting something. The couple is upfront about their marriage. He had a child with their former housekeeper who admits to like women. Even after 28 years, they clearly care about each other. After having a daughter named Snow Robin Gibb with their servant Claire Yang, who was nearly half his age, Robin's life changed in 2009. Despite their non-traditional marriage, artist, writer, and druid priestess Dweena was upset. Dweena was furious when the truth was revealed. Overreacting would be an understatement. She was profoundly hurt. Robin Gibbs likely left over a $140 million. Only Robin John was his son with Dweena. Robin has a daughter named Melissa and a son named Spencer from his first marriage to Molly Hullies. The fame of being in the spotlight destroyed his 12-year marriage to Hullies, the Bee Gees' former manager's assistant. She got custody of their kids. Robin had little contact with them for a while. When they were 12 and 10, he reconnected. He was married to Dwyana, whom he met in 1980 through her cousin while she was working at a beanbag factory in London and pursuing her artistic dreams. Another secret was between the Gibb brothers. Robin received much of the Bee Gees' early attention, which drove Barry to leave the group in the late 60s due to conflict. After returning, the three brothers became one of the most famous disco acts of the 1970s. While the tension inspired their creativity, it also generated emotional concerns and a permanent separation between Robin and Barry. Unfortunately, this dissension persisted throughout Robin's cancer battle and death. Barry's moving speech at Robin's funeral expressed his sadness for their breakup. Barry was moved to respect their legacy after Robin's death. In 2013, he led his first solo tour, which went beyond concerts. He paid tribute to his brothers and their incredible trip. Each song became a vivid tribute to their music, love, and unshakable friendship. Capitol Records signed a contract in 2016 to preserve the Bee Gees' music for future fans, strengthening their legacy. Even during personal struggles, their songs inspired and connected admirers of all ages. Their classic hits are about brothers, resilience, and a legacy that will last.